Our project is on the oil and gas industry. We would be talking about the strategies used by companies in the exploration and production, oil field services, and downstream segment. This describes the typical project life cycle of an oil and gas field. As you can see, that the project life cycle ranges from 40 to 50 years, with an average lifespan of an onshore oil field being 15 to 30 years. It takes 2 to 3 years to predict the existence of reservoirs and to assess the economy in the exploration phase. This phase consists of due diligence, pre qualification, licensing, geological studies, seismic activities, exploratory wells, reserve estimation, and production potential. Moving on to the appraisal and development phase, it takes 3 to 5 years to design and build installations. This phase consists of appraisal wells, economic viability, environmental impact assessment, field development planning, cost planning, field construction, field installation, commissioning, development, and production wells. Moving on to production, the natural gas field recovery rates range from 60% to 80%, while the oil field recovery rates range from 5% to 50%. And it takes 10 to 30 years to produce hydrocarbons in this phase. Additionally, this phase consists of production management, troubleshooting, enhanced oil recovery, maintenance, transportation of oil and gas to the processing facilities. Lastly, in the abandonment phase, it consists of plugging wells, decommissioning, dismantling, site remediation, and restoration. In general, it takes 5 to 10 years to end the installations. This slide talks about the key events in a typical project life cycle. The major phases in the life cycle are acquire, explore, appraise, select, define, execute, operate, and abandon. There are various activities and milestones pertaining to each of these phases. And as you can see, there are various teams engaged in various durations of the phases and activities mentioned here. As per the report of Energy Information Administration, the main drivers of crude oil prices are the supply from the OPEC and non OPEC countries, the demand from OECD, which is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and non OECD, financial markets, and balance. Petroleum product prices are driven by consumption, production, trade, balance, and financial markets. As per EIA, the world energy consumption by energy source still projects that till 2040, the consumption of petroleum and other liquids would be substantially high, given the history and the other sources of energy available. It is essential to highlight here that India's per capita income and energy consumption continues to lag from other major economies. The investment trends suggest that the oil and gas companies are doing more with less. Following the peaks in the oil and gas upstream investment, which reached in 2014, investment collapsed abruptly as a result of the lower prices. 2017 investment rebounded by 2% in real terms, and it is estimated that the same level of growth was achieved in 2018. One notable trend concerns the relationship between oil prices and the upstream costs. In the past, there was a roughly linear relationship between upstream costs and oil prices. When the price spiked, so did costs, and vice versa. What we are now noticing is a decoupling. The share of upstream oil and gas investment by asset type suggests that moving forward, the overall balance of market supply will be given by a combination of conventional activities and unconventional projects, which suggests the possibility of more volatility ahead in the market.
As part of our industry analysis, for the oil and gas sector, we have used two frameworks majorly. First is Porter's five forces, and second is the value chain analysis of the oil and gas industry. For the Porter's five forces, we have used the Porter five forces framework, which includes power of competitors, power of suppliers, power of buyers, rivalry, and also the threat of substitute. After which we have done the value chain analysis of the oil and gas sector, which is majorly divided into upstream, midstream, and downstream. Porter's five forces framework points out that the state of competition in any industry depends on five competitive forces. First one being the threat of entrance, second is threat of substitutes, third, power of suppliers, fourth, power of buyers, and rivalry among industry firms. Now, we talk about threat of entrance. Technology, innovation, patents acts as drivers of cost reduction and differentiation. For example, ExxonMobil, for instance, implemented sophisticated technology in early 2010 to decrease costs while improving manufacturing ability, allowing its business to increase its manufacturing ability by 5.8 million barrels of oil and extend the life of its oil and gas areas. Threat of substitutes. Major oil and gas businesses are looking for alternative sources as possible replacements with the use of sophisticated technology. Power of suppliers. By charging greater prices, restricting manufacturing and or integration provides impact to the market. The first two aspects become evident in the 1970s when the oil prices countries embargoes led to a reduction in the world's oil manufacturing, and this oil supply shortage resulted in drastic rise in the nominal price of a barrel of oil. Power of buyers. Powerful customers have the capacity to lower rates, request better quality or more service, and play participants from the sector off against each other at the cost of profitability from the sector. Rivalry amongst competitors. Depending on the intensity and basis of competition, high rivalry between current rivals may restrict the profitability of the sector. Now, if we look at the value chain of the oil and gas industry, we would be able to understand that the industry is basically divided into three segments, namely upstream, midstream, and downstream. The upstream, which contains the exploration and extraction of crude resources from their source, it deals with searching and drilling oil and gas fields to recover them for further use. The midstream involves storing and marketing, distributing, and transporting crude oil and its possible byproducts. The downstream sector involves the refining and processing crude oil. It also includes selling and distribution of the refined goods and its byproducts. For exploration, there are two techniques involved. First one being seismic surveys, wherein technology of sound wave is used, wherein reflection from the sound waves on the formations on the subsurface is helped in detecting the oil. Second one being the exploration drilling, wherein it is used, the drilling is used to collect samples to achieve measurements of fluid and real temperature. Production of oil and gas involves two separate general systems uh, and is done in accordingly. Refining, it is known as the method of turning crude oil into helpful petroleum products. Market and consumers, usually the distribution of pipe gas to end consumers is performed by utilities, but petroleum companies may well be engaged in the long distance transmission company or direct deliveries to individual customers, power plants, etc.
So now we will discuss about the key actors in the oil and gas project life cycle. So there are four sectors under this head, namely the state, the oil industry, the community, and the supply chain. Starting with the state, there are mainly national and the local government which is responsible for the legal and fiscal infrastructure. There are also national oil companies which may be responsible for paying their revenues and their royalties to the government, and they may also be responsible for political and social responsibilities. So, under the oil industry sector, there are mainly the contractor, the operator, the national oil companies, the international oil companies, and the oil and gas industry association. So, under the supply chain sector, there are the international and the local companies which are involved in the supply chain either directly or indirectly. There are the drilling contractors which does the process of the drillings with the help of various equipments. and there are the equipment manufacturers which basically build all those equipment that are required to complete the process, and there are service companies which provide all the services and the material to the well site. So, under the last head, that is the communities, we have the following actors, namely the local communities, that is, those people who are living around the areas that are affected by the oil and gas exploration, the local, national, and the social providers, that is, those formal organizations representing the communities. Also, we have the international NGO, watchdogs, and various development agencies.
Schlumberger is the world's leading oilfield services company. They are the global providers of technology in the field of reservoir characterization, drilling, production, and processing. The company was founded in 1926 by the Schlumberger brothers. The Schlumberger brothers pioneered the well logging technique, which had a revolutionary industrial application. Given the complexity of the exploration and production industry, the services and products of Schlumberger are unparalleled in the oil and gas industry. Schlumberger has a diverse workforce of 1 lakh employees representing 140 countries. This company has its presence in 120 countries around the globe. In order to adapt to the changing geopolitical issues, the changing demand and the newer sources of supply, Schlumberger underwent a transformation journey which started in the year 2007. While the world was grappling with the downturn in 2014, the transformation initiatives that Schlumberger had put in place from the year 2007 gave them an edge even in the times of crisis, and they could outperform as compared to the other oil and gas services companies.
Moving on, let us have a look at the strategies used by Schlumberger, one of the world's leading oilfield services company. Schlumberger supplies the industry's most comprehensive range of products and services, from exploration through production and integrated port to pipeline solutions that optimize hydrocarbon recovery to deliver reservoir performance. Schlumberger focuses on 3 major guiding principles: their people, technology, and profits. The Schlumberger Transformation Program. In the year 2007, the transformation program was started in order to adapt and evolve to the rising complexity and challenges of the oil and gas industry. The main focus areas for Schlumberger were technology innovation, increasing reliability, efficiency, and integration. An investment of $350 million was made till 2014 in this transformation, which led to the establishment of Engineering, Manufacturing, and Sustaining Organization, as well as the Schlumberger Product Development Method. The acquisition of the Smith International NGO Services in 2010 helped in creating shared service organization, which streamlined internal processes and established regional centers to improve field operation support. The 7 major strategies used by Schlumberger in order to bring about the transformation in their organization are developing new technologies, adopting world class manufacturing practices, adopting technology lifecycle management, driving operation integrity, leveraging information technology, increasing workforce productivity, and centralizing shared services.
HPCL is an oil and natural gas company headquartered in Mumbai. The company holds 25% market share among other PSUs in India. HPCL is basically involved in the marketing and refining of petroleum products. ONGC, which is also a promoter of HPCL, holds around 51.11% shares in the company. HPCL is a company which holds Navratna status, and it is a Forbes 2000 and Global Fortune 500 company. The company has 2 major refineries in Mumbai and Visakhapatnam. It has the largest share of pipelines among other players in the industry. The main products that the company is involved in are petroleum, diesel, lubricants, LPG, and aviation fuel. The company believes in holistic growth, and hence it has adopted the HP First policy, where First stands for free and fair work environment. I stands for integrity, R stands for respect for individuals, S stands for sustainable performance, and T stands for team spirit.
For HPCL, the value chain consists of sourcing the crude fruit imports, refining, distribution of refined products through pipelines to various plants, terminals and depots for storage, and then sales through distribution, retail outlets and clearing and forwarding agents. As India's oil demand has been growing and expected to grow further in the coming years, the company is continuously adapting itself to the market through innovation and achieving operational excellence by adopting new technologies. The revenue of the company has continuously shown a growth from 2,687 crores in the year 1984 to 1985 to 2,98,618 crores in the financial year 2019. Excellent physical performance by the company's refineries and marketing network has been contributing towards generating higher economic value. HPCL's combined gross refinery margin was recorded at $7.40 per barrel during the year 2017-18. The refineries in Mumbai and Visakhapatnam have maximized the crude processing with a combined refining throughput of 18.28 MMT with a capacity utilization of 115%. The company has maintained a strong marketing position in comparison to their competitors through their continuous efforts to ensure customer satisfaction. HPCL has achieved sales volume of 36.9 MMT with a growth of 4.4% and market share of around 25% among the PSU category. HPCL has undertaken many strategic planning initiatives to stay ahead of performance curve and navigate through uncertainties and challenges of future business environment. HPCL has developed its 5-year strategy roadmap named the T20 along with a detailed implementation plan up to the year 2020-21. The T20 strategy provides a blueprint to navigate the future business landscape with clearly defined annual growth objectives, profitability targets, and investment and action plans to help accomplish the company's vision and mission. Integrated margin management model was developed to help the company monitor the value chain. It acts as the nerve system of the corporation by maximizing the net corporate realization across a crude to customer value chain. The system is designed to maximize margins between procured crude price and realized product price while managing the imbalance and delivering value. The model controls the margins at every level of the value chain, including sourcing, refining, supplies, operations, distributions, and inventory management. Central Procurement Organization (CPO) has institutionalized strategic procurement by introduction of innovative concepts such as total cost of ownership, e-counter offers, benchmark rates, net present value, minimum order assurance, developmental orders, price variation clauses. During the 2017-18, various strategic initiatives have resulted in 8% increase in vendor participation across categories. ONGC has acquired 51.11% stakes in HPCL to stem fiscal deficit and boost disinvestment. Moreover, the consolidated supply chains would serve to minimize risk, increase capacity, and catapult India's recently deregulated oil market to secure a pronounced global competitive edge. This acquisition would not only serve to hedge market price volatility but also achieve economies of scale and deepen bargaining power and multiply consequent benefits across a larger consolidated consumer base. To be competitive in the market, HPCL is also focusing on implementing a cost leadership strategy for increasing efficiency and value creation by effectively linking the primary and secondary activities along the value chain and maximize the net corporate realization.
The paper strategy of all these companies have been almost similar. Due to the regular updation and innovation in the oil and gas industry, reskilling and multi-skilling the task force has been very important. The employees of these companies are majorly males and a very less percentage of females are present, and reducing attrition year by year has also been a strategy of all these companies, and providing proper safety measures for the employees is a very high priority strategy of these companies.
So talking about Reliance, as we all know how Reliance has established itself in creating the largest refinery of the world, established in Jamnagar, and talking about the strategies of Reliance. And also I wanted to tell that Reliance has been identified as one of the top 10 corporate sustainable companies. So Reliance has strategies which are based on 6 pillars. So those 6 pillars are energy security, environment, product responsibility, growth through innovation, health and safety, and the last one being social institution building.
Now talking about Reliance Industries Limited, Reliance has businesses over 6 areas: refining and marketing, exploration and production, retail, petrochemicals, media and entertainment, and digital services. The consolidated turnover has been rupees 6,22,809 crores. Consolidated profit after tax was rupees 39,588 crores. The market capitalization of Reliance is rupees 8,63,996 crores. Current scenario: Reliance Industries Limited is the flagship company of Reliance Group with an annual revenue from operations of $50.9 billion. Private sector company from India to feature in Fortune Global 500 list of world's largest corporations, currently ranked 215th in terms of revenue and 126th in terms of profit. Debuted in LinkedIn's top companies where India wants to work list. Strong presence in integrated energy value chain and a preeminent position in retail and digital services. Business activities in 8 international locations on a standalone basis and more than 50 locations across India. Exports to 108 countries across the world. Talking about the journey of last 40 years of Reliance. 1977 to 1987, IPO launched, introducing equity culture in India. Polyester and PTA in Patalganga unit. 1987 to 1992, Proxylane at Patalganga and PE at Hazira. First ever GDR issued by an Indian corporate. 1992 to 1997, Euro convertible bond issued. First corporate from Asia to issue 50 and 100-year bonds in US debt market. 1997 to 2002, cracker with polymers and fiber intermediates at Hazira, world's largest grassroots refinery, and PX and PP plant at Jamnagar. 2002 to 2007, acquired IPCL, India's largest petrochemical company, gas discovery in world block, water block KGD6, first Indian company to feature in Fortune Global 500 companies. 2007 to 2012, US shale gas joint ventures, partnership with British Petroleum. 2012 to 2017, acquired Network 18, launch of Geo, fastest network to reach 100 million subscribers. Different verticals of Reliance. Refining and marketing. Jamnagar site has complexity index of 21.1, 68.3 MMT crude throughput, crude processing capacity of 1.24 MBPD. Petrochemicals. Created the world's first and only virtual pipeline for ethane from USA to Reliance plant in India, with 6 very large ethane carriers and pipelines on the ground. World's first ever refinery of gas crackers complex of 1.5 MMTA capacity. Oil and gas. Portfolio includes operations in conventional deepwater acres and unconventional coal bed, methane block, 100% field uptime in KGDC operations. Retail. 10,405 stores covering 22 million square feet area. Reliance Retail operates the most extensive store network in the country. Digital services. Jio has built the country's largest all IP data network on 4G LTE technology. Media and entertainment. Network 18 Boost offer portfolio of 55 domestic channels, number 1 news network by viewership.